This is Seth David, your Dean of Beans with schoolofbookkeeping.com, bringing to you what's going on at Xero this week. Here's your notification about Xero notifications. Here's what's happening at Xero this week. The latest and greatest release is the enhancements to the notifications area at Xero. But before I even get into that, a couple weeks ago we told you about quotes in Xero. That was one of the first releases of 2015, and I have some more to say about that this week. If you want to get a glance at the product innovation that took place in Xero during 2014, there were over 400 releases. This infographic, which is linked in the blog post, and if you're watching on YouTube, just check the description. There'll be a link that'll take you over to the blog post, and then from there you can link over here, where you can just look at the URL and try and memorize that, or pause the video and type it all out, however you prefer. Bottom line, you can get a glance at the product releases that took place. There were over 400 of them in 2014. And over here, we've got a link to the U.S. featured timeline, the overall timeline, which is, of course, starting to show you now what is being released in 2015. Starting with notifying you about notifications. Xero notifications doesn't mean you're not getting notifications. It means you're getting even better notifications in the Xero product. Spelling counts. Come over here into Xero and click on the envelope icon, and you'll see you've got rich media notifications. You'll be notified, of course, about product updates and releases. You'll be able to watch videos right here in the notifications area, so you don't have to click away. It's all right here. And don't worry if you have extreme adult ADD like I do, and those little red notifications that pop up just drive you crazy, and you start kind of twitching if you don't actually click on it to see what's going on and get rid of that red icon. Not to fear, they're going to be rolling out enhancements that will give you the ability to control what sorts of things you're notified about. There are things you're going to want to get notified about, such as when a bank feed, for example, has been set up successfully. Look at this, payment successful for Xero billing account. I paid my bill. Isn't that exciting? I want to be notified about that. XeroCon London is taking place, or has taken place this week, and there's some really interesting information that has been announced that I want to share with you. And of course, if you head over to Twitter and you go onto the hashtag for XeroCon, #XeroCon, you will see it's almost like being there. Not quite as good as being there, especially if you live in the US. It's not quite as good as being in London, but you can almost get the experience of what it's like to be there. So what did they announce? What is going on now that XeroCon has started and finished and announcements have been made? Here's what you can expect to see in the Xero camp in the next 90 days. Find and recode, which is a lot like batch reclass. In fact, it is like batch reclass. Of course, there's a difference in the language because, Xero, they're from New Zealand and we're here in the US, and we just say things a little differently sometimes. I think they say it better, actually. So find and recode. We'll have global search. Inventory is rolling out. Yes, inventory will be rolling out in Xero. Online quotes. Now, I mentioned quotes earlier. That release came out a couple of weeks ago. The enhancement to this with online quotes is that your customers or prospects will have the ability to approve those quotes that you send to them, and that approval will come right through the Xero product. It'll probably show up in that notifications area letting you know it's been approved, and then when you go look at that kind of dashboard that shows you the status of your quotes, it will automatically then move into the approved area within your quotes. What else? Side-by-side file attachments on the document create, and the business performance dashboard is something that Jamie Sutherland gave us a preview of at Solutions 14, the Sleater conference last November, and that is finally rolling out over the next 90 days at some point. One last thing is the payroll area of Xero, which has been rolling out. We've got payroll available in the states of California, Florida, Texas, and most recently New York has been added, and all those states have e-file and e-pay. New Jersey, Utah, and Virginia, e-file and e-pay are coming soon, and as I understand it, Xero is going to continue rolling out in more and more states. They have to do it one state at a time because every state has different sort of rules and ways that things are calculated, so they want to be careful. They want to make sure they get this right, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So do check the blog post if you're watching this on YouTube. There's lots of great information and links to stuff that you'll be interested in reading and learning about with respect to what's going on in the Xero camp. As always, I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you on the web.